This is Kimmy Kim and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a share for you. This journal is named Enchanted Rose and it is sewn. The only parts that are not sewn are on the cover and on the back here, which I used a special glue. Well, I love this glue, this Fabri-Tac. Love it. It's a permanent adhesive for bonding fabrics, lace, glass, leather, woods, trims, things of that nature. And I really love it because it dries fast. It doesn't dry lumpy, whereas in the past I've had, issues with Aleene's tacky glue bubbling up, not drying, very well, things like that. So I really stand by this glue. So I use that. I also know using that glue it's not going to come off. It is stuck on. Let's see, it's 50 pages front and back, and kind of a signature thing with me since the beginning of time of me ever making journals is I always use Tim Holtz hitch post here, and it's really easy to use. You can use a ribbon, you can use a band, elastic band, lots of different things. A tie, you can tie it around, and in the back it's just an eyelet. You can see the eyelet there. So, and you don't need the eyelet for the hitch post. You can see it just kind of screws in the back. And I'll start with the little dangle here. This dangle is of different fibers. I don't even know the name of some of these in here. It's just I've collected different fibers over, the last year or two, and just used some of them, a little bit of eyelash trim. And I have this charm, these two charms I got at Michael's. So that's that. And I use jump rings to attach them to the binder ring, and it's a Tim Holtz binder ring, and you can take this off. So if you're using the journal, you're writing in the journal, you're traveling with the journal, you can take this off at any time and you'll just be left with this little hook right here. And the hook, if you want that removed to put your own dangle there, I have attached it. It's actually one of those guys, so it's just on with the hook. So it's a, I forget the name of it, I just went blank. Not a post, it'll come to me later. To my mind freezing up. So at any rate, the point being that you can take it off and do as you wish with it. If you want it or if you don't want it on there. Now the butterflies are raised a bit. They're a little bit three-dimensional here on top of the cover, and the cover is distressed all around and on top. And I don't know if hopefully you can see that. And I fussy cutted these butterflies and used some glossy accent on them and just let them dry. So they're raised and nice and shiny and kind of gives it some dimension. And let's see. Let's get started. The sewing of the signatures. There's two signatures, and I've used waxed linen. That's what I use on my books. It's very strong. It's not going to fray, and just something I like to use with my journals. So originally this was a printable that was to be on the cover, and if you see, it's very, very distressed, and you can faintly see a butterfly image in there. I'm hoping you can see it. But I thought it was too dark for the cover, so I switched it up a little bit and made a pocket. And then I've got this distressed printable ephemera, and this is where I start my sewing. I sew all the way around. This is a stamp that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I sewed 2 pages back to back, this having a journal card and some journaling space there with a pocket. And when I sell the journal, I'll put my information on this card and keep it in here, so you got my information. And I just like to do that in my journals as well. And this page is scalloped, and this is, I believe this is just regular copy paper. Everything in here is all distressed. It's all coffee dyed, and when I coffee dye all of my papers, I coffee dye with instant coffee and vanilla extract. I use the vanilla generously, and I do that because not everyone likes the smell of coffee, and so the vanilla gives it a sweeter, nicer smell, a nicer scent for the paper. And so we'll just move on. I have this little clip here, and you can take it off and have this page underneath a journaling, and this is just a pocket with a tag. And oh, I just need to put some fibers here on this tag and put that in there. This is graph paper here. This is part of the artwork by EphemerasGarden. And again, it's sewn. All this is sewn. And I just used some of the ephemera to make a pocket, a little tuck pocket. And then there's some pieces in here. Some lovely rose romance, a little flower song. This looks like, let's see, Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas. 6 massages. Good for service without limited. That's cute. And then it looks like it's inked 1913 on there. And that's part of the ephemera that I distressed, and a little journaling card there. And this I did a little something different. It's on calligraphy paper, and so it's a darker color as it is, and then on top of that it's got the coffee stained. I took a little bit of cheesecloth here and a little pattern paper there, and kind of made some extra pages to journal on. And I just stapled it there. I didn't sew it. I used a Tim Holtz, really tiny Ideology stapler when I do that. And I just attached this trim here. It's kind of fringy. Hopefully y'all can see. The lighting in here is really poor. This is some vellum paper, some more of the printable, and I sewed in the trim. In the center of the signatures, another signature of mine, is I always put charms on it. I never leave them frayed or knotted or anything like that. I just always leave charms. It's something I've always liked to do. And so I collect charms, and then I share them in the journals. So here, this one says love, and it has a heart. And this is a little chain with a button on it. Cute little button. And I fussy cut the little dress out and sewed that there. So this is a tuck pocket here. And this here, between these 2 pages here, I made that a pocket, and it's got a little file card in it that's distressed, and I just slip it in there. And the book has 2 of those. And here's another more ephemera, and I just sewed it in and made this tuck pocket with some cards here to journal. Some more vellum, calligraphy paper and some rickrack. Some of the trims are sewn in, some of them are glued in. All very sturdy and very strong. It's not gonna come off at all. Some ephemera I like to use the ephemera as pockets a lot. And this is like a little calendar card. It's got the year, period, received, things like that. And here's another library card that can also be used as a journal card. This is vellum paper attached to the printable. I'm loving these colors. These colors looked really great. And that's the greens with the turquoisey teal green, I guess. And that's where this trim comes in. If you're wondering where the green and teal come in with all this, is it ties in here. And then here I have it attached and sewn on. And here's a tuck pocket, another calendar card, a little received card, ticket, and a journal card. I have two different sides on it. And this is scalloped. I've scalloped the papers. Some trim sewn on. And then we go into the second signature. And this is the cover of that. Sewn onto some vellum paper for journaling. Some vellum paper here, and I did these little punches here on the corners. I love doing that with my pages. Punching them, scalloping them, putting trims on them, just, embellishing them in some way, and adding some stamps in here and there. This is tracing paper, so it's really crinkly when it gets heated up and coffee dyed, so I love that crinkly noise. Some more printed artwork and some velvet ribbon here. Sewn in, of course. And I have another pocket, must be coming up. There's some rickrack there. The butterflies, vellum paper. That's a stamp. And again, I made some cheesecloth, and I made a little thing of paper here with vellum paper to jot down notes, or whatever you like to write in it on. And here's some more trim, sewed, of course. And this pocket is kind of like the style of a library pocket. And I have a card here and the card here. And again, the center of my signatures always have charms. And here is the pin, a little sewing pin, and then a love. You can always, you don't have to hang them down. You can hang them up and down, however you'd like. This is where there's another pocket here, and it's a tuck pocket. You can put it whatever you want in there. And there's some journaling. Some trim here again sewn on. And that pretty stamp. I was really happy with the stamp on the vellum. It worked really well. And this is very faint, but it's a pale pink with a gold floral print on it. And it goes really well with this pink and ivory and pale yellow goldy color. And I fussy cut that from the ephemera. And here's some ephemera here. Almost can't slide it under with one hand. There we go. I'll just stick it there like that. And some more tracing paper, graph paper, Again, the vellum is punched. Some more journaling space. That's sewn on, and you'll notice all my sewing. I leave my strings. Some people love it. Some people don't prefer it. I leave it for the owner of the journal to make that decision, and they can trim them when they get it if they'd like. And this is the back of the craft text. It's like a material. It's really soft and feels very durable. And again, the elastic to the hitch post. So yeah, the only thing I need to do, it looks like I forgot to put some fiber on that tag, and it is ready to find a home. So if you have any questions, you can email me. I'll have my email on below. And I will also put EphemerasGarden Etsy store link down below to view her printables. She's got lots and lots of them, and they're very affordable. If there's any questions about materials that I used or how I used them, again, just email or put it in the comments. And yeah, so this little beauty Enchanted Rose is for sale and looking for a home. So just go ahead and email me when you get a chance, and the first person who contacts me will be the one that I will send it to. So that's how I will do that. And I hope you enjoyed the little walkthrough, and thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and have a great night.